Hello. This video is my response to the lesson 12, promote creative expression. So first and foremost, I pulled out some materials. I pulled out a whole bunch of other materials and then I put a whole bunch away because I didn't want to over flood it. But some of the things that I did put away, I should have kept out. So I'll answer that as I answer the question. So I decided to make a video. It's easier for me. I absolutely enjoyed this actual activity. I've enjoyed all of them, but this one, because this is what I do every day. So it was very easy for me to go ahead and do this assignment. So here we go. I took all the materials out, and I kind of go back and forth. And what would in the session that I knew I was going to use my granddaughters, I wanted to keep what I know engages, but then I wanted to throw other things in there for creativity, and that's the reason why I put some of the stuff back, because then they would have just concentrated on maybe like the Play-Doh or the finger painting, which is something that's really therapeutic for kids and they really like it. So both of the children that I used today, one is on the spectrum, one has anxiety, ADHD, and as you see, they were both calm. In the video, you'll see that I redirected my younger granddaughter a couple of times. One was with the, she wanted to put water in one of the toys and it had sand in it. So I didn't want to kind of waste that water. So I redirected her on that. She did really well. But then after the video was off, she went ahead and she did what I told her not to do. And I used that moment to teach her, to do what I do every day. She is my granddaughter, so obviously I'm not doing RBT on her, but I'm doing therapy that she needs because I'm a grandma. And so I redirected her when she put the water in after we hung up. After I stopped the video, I went ahead and she said, "Grandma, can you open the water?" I opened the water, and my brain usually picks up on that, but I was putting my materials away and I didn't pick up on it. And I opened the water, and I should have said, "Oh, okay, you're thirsty? Oh, okay, here you go." And I would have opened it, and then I would have realized what she wanted to do with it, and it wouldn't have happened. But she put it in there. That's fine, because I used that as power to teach her what I needed to teach her, and it worked out well. Second video, I went ahead and I did show her using, because I wanted to see her creativity, especially for this assignment, what she wanted to do. And she was visualizing she wanted to make a cake, so she wanted to use that water as like the foundation of the cake that she wanted to make for her special friend, which is and that's that little giraffe bear. So I wanted to see the creativity after we cleaned it, after I spoke to her about it, and she learned what she did wrong. I, of course, learned what I did wrong, and it worked out well. So I will work with her a couple more times on that, what we learned through that lesson, and then that's how I changed the behavior. So it's not that I changed the behavior in that one lesson, I just took it as a moment of opportunity. So anyway, getting moved on. So when I looked at the materials, when I laid it all out, there was, of course, things that I thought about, what would I do with this? And I do that always. So it was really simple. My ideas were the shoelaces. Whenever I use shoelaces, I kind of think about fine motor skills, putting them through things, not only like through the shoelaces, but you could put them through patterns. You can learn how to make knots out of them. You can make a string and make them longer. You could put them together. You could put them together. You could make like even a jump rope. Not that, well, that would be safe, but just keep putting them together. You could, my granddaughter went ahead and did something that I didn't think about, as she described it, not that I didn't think about the idea, and on toothpicks, building something. The first thing I thought about toothpicks was building something. My son used to build things all the time with all creative things, forks and knives and spoons, and he would make all these amazing little things that I'm like, wow, how the heck did he think about that? So I thought about those moments when he was little and how I would use the materials. The cups, bouncing a ball into the cup, I would have used it for building. I would have used it for building. That's something I think about. Filling it up, see how much weight it could be. You could use science on that when teaching. The ice cream cup, you could fill it up and make it look like a sundae. Yarn, you could wrap it around something. You could measure it. You could use yarns for a whole bunch of things. And that's kind of some of the things that I thought about. Problem solving. Did I have any problem solving? No, because I work with this every day. It's just being about creativity. Hey, listen, what could I do different? How could I use this item differently? It's just learn as you go type of thing. Material additions. Yes, I wish I would have left the finger paint out and the Play-Doh, as I mentioned. The Play-Doh, they could have molded things. She could have made the birthday cake that she wanted to make out of Play-Doh, but instead she used the water as the batter, which is perfectly fine. Q-tips. My granddaughter had said Q-tips instead of the word toothpicks. I could have used Q-tips. That would have been a great idea. You could make a whole bunch of shapes with Q-tips. You could, you're more bendable than the toothpicks. So I kind of should have thought about that versus the toothpicks, but that's what I pulled out of my material list. Crayons, I could have used crayons. I could have put crayons in there and they could have drawn pictures, show their feelings. But I didn't. But those are things that, that I wish I would have. Now getting on to the next part, the personal creativity. Like I said, I just answered all that. And then what differences did I notice when playing alone and playing with others? When you play alone, you kind of have all that space to yourself and you get to be as creative as you want to be. But when you parallel play or when you play in groups, you could feed off the creativity, the ideas off your peers. And maybe you're not going to mimic the same thing, but maybe you can grasp an idea and then go ahead and do it in your own way. Those are the two differences I see. You could be as creative as you want, but working with somebody, your creativity seems to expand because you put both brains together in ideas and you come up with a new idea. How might I create similar experiences for the students to encourage their creativity and exploration? Put more materials. Put more materials and let them go at it. If one, for example, my granddaughter liked the toothpicks, I could have used the Q-tips. I could have used the finger painting to make those exact same ideas, but in different ways. So if I know that she wants to draw a house, for example, okay, well, now let's see how you could draw an example, and I'll lay out some cotton balls. I'll lay out some Q-tips. I'll lay out some finger painting, so they can make their house. They can go ahead and dip a little bit of the paint inside the Q-tip ball, a little bit inside the paint, and make like the clouds, for example, make it different colors. You don't have to dip the whole thing, just a tiny bit. And with the Q-tip, you can go expand it and make like little like clouds. You could do the same thing with the grass. You can take that same, a Q-tip, or you could take a cotton ball and you could rub it on the paper, and make it look like little grass. Or you could take a paintbrush and do the same thing. So you could do many things with that same vision with a whole bunch of different materials. Again, crayons, finger painting, cotton balls, Q-tips, pipe cleaners. There's just so many. It's endless on the creativity you could use. So this is it. I hope I explained it well enough instead of writing it. Again, I enjoyed this. I gotta commend you. You probably hold one of the most creative minds by listening to all of the students over the years with all of our creative ideas, and then you compile them and you got all this knowledge in your head that you learned from us and that you come up with. So I commend you on that. It must be a fun job for you for sure. Thank you and have an awesome, beautiful day.